Hello, hello. Welcome everyone to the Soul Light Collective. I'm Diane and I'm with Karen here. And we today are talking about Clair senses, what they are and um, how to recognize them, how to use them, what they mean, what they're here for. And we'd love to hear from you as far as what clair senses you notice, what have opened up for you, and are you using them with just yourself and or other people, whether if it's with your work or your family or friends. Um, but let's jump right in. Karen, you want to start in and tell me about your clair senses. When did they open up for you? When did you discover what they were?
Amazing.
Maybe we should just start with like talking a little bit about what they are for those
Yes.
there that might not be familiar with the term or what they are.
Yes, so the Clair senses, that's a good question, like what they are, because that was not something I was aware of until I started my awakening. It's so interesting because I was just listening to you and I remember being a young child looking in the mirror, thinking, I wish I had a superpower. Like I remember that, like I wish I had a superpower that would, but I'm just a human. I remember having I'm just a human. I would never have a superpower. But I've lived my life fairly closed down and came into my awakening back in 2017 when I was face to face with somebody who was showing me that I did have superpowers, right? And I had just never been pushed to a point to like needing to exercise them. So, gosh, what was the Clairs, right? So we have these we have our bodies, we have our touch, we have our hearing, we have our vision, and then we have the ability. I'm finding more and more people are coming. Not, I don't want to say coming along, awakening to these abilities that we have always had available to us. So, and there's the names clairvoyance, claircognizance, clairaudient. You're gonna have to jump in with me. Clairgustance, clairsalience. Um,
They're beyond our physical senses, right? We have the
yes.
basic five senses, but our clairs, and I can't even remember all you just named, but there's about nine of them, and
If not more, right? Some
not
of them we
more,
don't even, yeah.
probably. Yeah. So
So we go along and we start to look, I feel like we look back a little bit in of ourselves, right? Like I feel like maybe we kind of had these gifts all along, but we just didn't know what they were. There'll always be like, oh, my grandmother on my mother's side always was able to do this, and it's kind of like a family lore, or I have friends who were very, it's almost like psychic, right? They were very psychic at a young age and they were in some fear over that and they needed to get some training. Um, I feel like there's like it could come in any way, right? There's no one path to it. And for me, I think that I've always been very, very strong with the Claire voyance for myself. But I really wasn't even aware that that's what I
which
was doing,
is sight.
which is sight, third eye.
Yep.
Um, and I remember even when the word was introduced to me that that's what I was doing, I was like, no, I'm just really good at like redecorating a whole bedroom in my head without moving furniture. Like, of course I can like move things around and like visually, but and it's just, oh, that can be clairvoyance. Like it's just like that ability to see. Um, and then, oh my gosh, like how do you want to do this? Do you want to talk about one, or do you want to kind of talk about them all at the same time? I
Well,
think
how
that
how are you using how are you using that gift?
clairvoyance. So for me, I um I feel like my channel really connects with when I receive information, when I'm working with other people, or when I'm seeking guidance for myself. This isn't always about working with another person.
Mhm.
But when I'm seeking guidance, it's so funny because I just heard it. See, I just say that all the time, like, oh, I just
Clairaudience.
heard it, right? There's the
Clairaudience.
clairaudience, right? And I heard it and I saw it and I just put it together. Um, when I seek guidance, usually it comes to me with some sort of a visual memory, a particular color, and this all happens inside my head. And
Mhm.
it's like, is that my imagination or did that come from somewhere? It's just kind of like what is that? And what I was just laughing about was because we were talking earlier, and I was just kind of like shown a tarot card, right? This is why I like to work with the cards. I like the visuals of having an oracle card or a tarot card to like, it's like my gateway, my entryway into pulling information for myself and like where am I going to visually go with that? What am I going to hear about that? Like how can I gain more guidance for myself? And that's a little bit about ways that I work clairvoyantly. And no, I'm gonna back off on that. It's just you jump in. You jump in with what, which one are you finding to be one of your strongest?
I think I've always been strongest in sentience,
Hmm.
like that, just that feeling, that deep knowing. It's sometimes it comes in as a physical feeling, and a lot of times when I'm working with people, with clients, I just like just the other day I was working with somebody who I knew nothing about her. Uh it was actually at a spirit fair that I was doing these mini sessions at, and this woman, sat in front of me, and I was channeling light language and energy. And it was like I was hearing. I'm also clairaudient, so hearing, and I do see too, but the feeling and the hearing is probably the strongest for me. Was go to her sacral, go to her solar plexus chakras. And I was sitting in front of her, and I moved my hands down in front of her, and just like immediately I heard she's had surgery, abdominal surgery. And sure enough, she had had a gastro bypass surgery. And so that happens a lot. Like I'll just be guided to an area of somebody's body, like their throat, and I'll say I'm hearing, or I'm feeling there's something going on with your throat chakra. Mostly, and a lot of times I'll get more direct, like it's your thyroid. Um, and so I have had experiences with smell, though.
Hmm.
I believe that when I moved into the house that I live in now, there were or was at least one spirit living here and making themselves known through different ways, such as the lights flickering at odd times, or I would hear footsteps when nobody else was home. And one night, I'll never forget this. I just like shot up in bed because the smell, it was like 3 in the morning, and the strongest smell of peanut butter was in the room. And
Of all things.
yeah, and we didn't even have any peanut butter in the house at the time. And so it's wild. It
Yeah,
really is so fascinating to me. I've always been fascinated with the Clair senses. And in fact, my oldest daughter is named Claire. And that's
I
not
was
why I
thinking,
named her that, but
no, I was thinking that.
the word Clair means clear and bright, like it's clear. You just get this clear, um, uh,
I'm hearing heightened, like it's a
heightened.
heightened,
Your
right?
senses
It's like,
are heightened,
ooh,
and there's a
yeah,
clearer channel from what we sense in our physical world. And for a long time, when I was working as a massage therapist, I would get these pictures or images in my head, and they'd be like one little thing. It wouldn't be like a movie. It would be like an object of something. And I would always think, like, that's so random. Like, why am I seeing an image of a like a child-size red coat?
right,
Um,
right.
but when I started speaking my truth and using my voice and realizing these are not just, and working with, teachers to ask like, why is this happening? What am I supposed to do with this? Like, these are not for you. These are for the person that you're working for. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that it means nothing to you, but it's for you to
Yeah.
discern whether or not to share, with them for their information. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I was thinking about how, like how, like those ways that you don't even realize that you're working with your senses was coming in a little bit for me.
Mm.
And I always remember, like whenever I'd be struggling the hardest on something like, here's an example, like building a website, like how am I going to hook something together so it work in like the technical part of it, or how I was going to word something. And I would get in the shower and I would just be like having my daily shower, and it'd be like, I could see, it was almost like I could see the
Uh-huh.
parts of my website moving, like you're going to put this here. And I was like, oh my God, that's it. I know now.
Right.
But I think back to that's always been available to me. Like I've always had that be like, oh, I know how to do that. Those problem solving circles I always had to sit in, or sitting with people at work, and like this is the way we should do it. Like somebody has the answer, and like where does the answer come from? Um, and that's why I'm always so fascinated with it's really available to all of us,
It
and
is.
we all have it. It's
Yes.
it's almost like I want to say it's like a divine right to be in your full embodiment of yourself and having your abilities,
Mhm.
and and not as usual, and not to let it scare you, right? Not,
Right.
how do I know that? Who's like in middle of the night? Here's a beautiful example. Middle of the night, you wake up, like what, like I hear my daughter saying my name, mom, mom. And like, why am I hearing this? Why am I hearing this? Like that was the beginning of my hearing. That was
When
that
she
whole,
wasn't in the same,
oh no, not at all.
yeah.
And that was,
It's not
and
like
that was
she's in the other bedroom calling you.
right. And no, and that would just like kind of like my entree into mediumship, right? Because there's a lot of hearing with the mediumship, and I can see what she's wearing. I have a very good friend who is very clairsentient, and she'll say like, we always joke, and she'll say, "Oh no, I can see him. She's like, he she's very clairsentient, and she would say to me, but he's wearing a jean jacket. I can see the jean jacket." And I would always say to her, I'm like, but you don't see, because we joke about that. And she would say, no, I felt it. It
Mm.
was a jean jacket. It's just like there we go, like almost like her sight is through her feeling. So there's
Mhm.
all these different layers of how it works together.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. And I am one of those people who chose to go and sit and work with it. Like I would sit in a psychic circle
Mhm.
anytime that somebody was having a program where they were like, come sit in circle, we're going to do this, or we're going to um, like Claire Goose, got say it for me, Claire Goose,
Gustin.
taste, Gustance. Thank you,
Gustance.
Gustance.
Yeah.
And we would
Taste.
sit in a circle, and he would, it was just fascinating. He's like, we're going to work with Claire Gustance. And we would all shut our eyes, and he would be, okay, I want everyone to, we went through this exercise with pizza. Like, I want you to see the slice of pizza. And I'm like, I could see like I could see every herb on it. It's like
Yeah. Yeah.
amazing. But other people were struggling. And then it would be like, I want you to taste the pizza. And like, I would love to put myself into these exercises and be like, I can do that. Oh my God, I could smell it. But practice, it's like practicing with, it's like a muscle,
It
like
is a muscle,
using
your
it, right?
spiritual muscles.
And
Yeah.
I love any time that I could sit and practice with it. And there's exercises online. There's hundreds of YouTubes that talk, all of, you can go into meditation and like open up these,
Yeah.
whatever you want. But I think that it's like an embodiment of like, this is part of me. I can do this.
Hmm.
And it's for helping people, right? I'm not here to psychically get information from you to whatever. Like I'm here to help you on your healing journey, and your higher self energy, your higher self is sharing that with my higher self in collaboration, so that we can work together and make progress. And that's when you get to that point where it's just like flowing back and forth so beautifully. And as heal and working with clients on the healing table, it's so heightened. It's like when you're in that energy and we're fully connected and in the channel, and you're seeing something, the client on the table is seeing the same thing at the same time. It's just like, oh, so amazing.
Yeah,
We're so powerful. Like
that's so,
not us, like all of us. We're so
yes,
powerful.
all of us are, and we
Yeah.
have no idea, no idea how, and it's so easy for people to dismiss it, like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't believe in that stuff, or that's not for me. I could never do that. Well, yes, you can. You
Right.
absolutely can, because this is your
Yeah.
birthright. This is that, you know, alignment with your higher self, with your soul, with your the wisdom that you hold within. And it is here for you. And it is here for you to move into your blueprint, wouldn't you say? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And as an example, how many readers did I go see early in my journey? Right. Like, find it for me. Right. That was kind of like a
right.
sit, read me.
I need to
I
be
need
somebody.
somebody
Who-
to do that for me. And that's nothing wrong with that. Um, I have so many beautiful people who I went to early on in my journey who I am in agreement with that they were helping me. And you do get to a point where you're like, I can seek this within. I can find this. And any good reader will let you know that that you have
Yeah,
this power to do that.
that's
Um,
right.
but sometimes we like to do the work with another person, and I love and I just love that. But
And I think that's so important too, especially when you're just starting out. I know I would certainly not be where I am today had it not been for all of those that I worked with, and I sought after their gifts, their services,
yes,
their guidance. And Karen and I are here to do the same with people who are on whatever place in their journey where they, you might feel like you need some assistance with some guidance, with connecting to your soul, because we live in such a society where we're just constantly bombarded with so much, and we're uh stressed to the max. We're
desensitized.
are desensitized, our schedules are bulging, we don't even have the time to sit down and spend 25 minutes eating a meal properly. For
We're
most,
scrolling with the TV on
scrolling,
at
eating,
night,
multitasking. And so it's very
headphones. Yeah.
hard. If there's any of you listening or watching and thinking, there's no way I can connect with, like, how do I even do it? Because we're so programmed to be doing all the time. And what does it even mean to be and to receive and to listen in and to sit still with myself long enough to access my higher wisdom? Um, it's very beneficial to work with other people
Yeah.
who can help you do that, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah. I think we probably have a lot more we can talk about on this.
for sure.
And yeah, and if you have a suggestion or a question about anything we talked about, leave a comment. We would love, or, can you go deeper on this or that?
Right.
We would love that feedback. We would love to be able to create more on what's really driving you.
Hmm. Right. What questions you have, and yeah, like Karen said, dive deeper into maybe each Claire sense particularly.
And
Uh,
there are others that we haven't, like we haven't
yes,
even
there
talked
are
about,
others
right?
that
This was
we
kind of
didn't
high
even
level.
we didn't even mention, but
Yeah.
so great to have you all join us today in this soulful conversation at the Soul Light Collective. And if you like this video, please share it, subscribe to our channel, and feel free to reach out with any questions or support. We're here for you in lights and love.
See you next time.
Okay, see ya.